Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, I want to give you a thorough review and flip through of BJU Math 6. So I wanted to interrupt this video really quickly and let you guys know that I want to try something new with these flip through videos. Hopefully, so this will be more helpful for people that like to just visually see things for themselves, and then other people who might want a little bit of guidance in me talking through the flip through. So the first part will be me doing a whole entire flip through of the teacher guide and the student book. And then the second part, I will do the same exact video. I will make it a little bit faster, and that will be with me not speaking at all. I'll take my voice out. I'll have some relaxing, quiet music, and I will speed through the flip through so you can just look at the book by itself. Let me know down below in the comments which option you like, option number 1 or option number 2. I will let you get back to the flip through. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy this. My daughter will be in 6th grade next year, and I wanted to give a complete flip through on YouTube so that you guys can see what exactly comes with the new 4th edition BJU Math. Now, I have been online and I don't really see a lot of flip throughs on here, so I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you guys can do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, that would be so great, so that people can come and check this video out and get some more information on this book. There are 17 chapters, and it goes all the way to from like review of number systems to integers. So there's 386 pages. They have chapter reviews and cumulative reviews after every chapter, so that the kids hopefully know what they've done, and they understand the concept. And so if they need more review, they do have more activity reviews that you could purchase, but we've never used them. We just go over their work that they've gotten wrong and we fix it and we do it together. That seems to work for us. So chapter 1's number systems, multiplying by a whole number. Chapter 3 is dividing by a whole number. And if you want to look into this, if you want to take a screenshot and look at all of the lesson titles, you can. I just wanted to go through this pretty quickly for you so you just have an idea of what they're doing for 6th grade. Chapter 4, they're doing fraction theory, adding and subtracting fractions, plane figure geometry, multiplying fractions and decimals, dividing fractions, dividing decimals, and then equations. So that's where it gets more into like the algebra for 6th graders. They have perimeter and area, volume, ratio, proportions and percents, measurements, statistics, probability, and integers. So that is what they're doing for 6th grade. It's definitely a little different from 5th grade, but they do have a lot of the same concepts that they're doing, but it's just a little harder, I think. When I went through this book real quickly, that's what I noticed, because we were fresh. We just literally finished 5th grade, so I remember everything that we did, and a lot of it is the same, but then there's more algebra that they're going to be doing, I feel, in this year. So the first chapter is number systems, and like I said, this is like more of a review, and I wanted to just go through this chapter really quickly. So don't base these pages off, don't feel like these pages at the first chapter is what the math is like, because this is just more of like a review of what they did last year. And usually most math books have the review, and I appreciate it because sometimes they just need a little bit of refreshing, because in the summer they take a break. So for instance, I might have her do a few number Roman numerals and have her do a few exercises just to refresh her memory. And then what I do sometimes, especially at the end of the year, but for this year, since we're doing a little bit of math in the summer, I will have her do the chapter review shortly after she's done a few lessons. And I might skip a few lessons that I feel like are very repetitive and things that she already knows. We'll do this, and then if she gets anything wrong, then we'll review that concept. And then this is new. The cumulative review is new. They usually just have chapter reviews in BJU, and that's really nice. But it's great that it's all in here now, so if they get any wrong here, for instance, they could do a multiple choice review here. And I think it's awesome because I usually don't ever give my kids multiple choice test or any test, at all. So I think that this is a good way to get my daughter into understanding how to take multiple choice tests, because she's never done it before. So I might have her do this a couple of times. We'll see how it goes. And then that is chapter 1. And then chapter 2 is multiplying by a whole number. And I love the fact that they have all of the independent work for her to read, the key terms that they're going to be using for the lesson, explain and doing examples for them, like right here, and really explaining like the properties of multiplication, what it looks like. So when they're doing their homework, it's like right there. And it's not too black and white. It is a little colorful, but it's not like kiddie, you know, elementary. It's a little bit of a step up. They're in middle school now, so it's nice. So in yellow, they have exercises, and then in the purple, they have practice and application. So this is just the second chapter, and I will try to go through this a little bit faster because I know it's just a lot to look through. And then here's the chapter review for it, and the cumulative review. Okay, so chapter 3 is divided by a whole number, and you'll see the same format throughout the whole entire book, where the lesson is at the beginning. The blue is like the topic of what they're going to be doing for the lesson, and just the explanation will be down below. My daughter usually reads it on her own. I tell her to read it, and then she does the exercises. We've never had practice and application before, but she usually has word problems to solve, so I don't know if this takes the place of that, but then I see here there's word problems. So I think it's nice because sometimes if my daughter feels like it's super easy and she's just being very repetitive and she's just like, it's just taking her forever, I'll give her like evens or odds. And then I definitely make sure she still does the word problems because I think it's good for her brain to work that way and try to figure things out. So we never skip word problems, but I always have her sometimes do evens or odds just because it's a lot of repetitive work. If she's not understanding it, I might do evens and odds as well, but if she is getting lots wrong, then we go over it, and then it takes a little bit longer time to go over it, but then she is understanding it better once we fix it. So that's the only thing with math, and I know a lot of you guys deal with this, is like once they do the lesson and then there's some wrong, it's like then you have to take your time, go into the teacher book, try to figure out what they're getting wrong and fix it, and hopefully you know like how to fix the problem. And with the teacher answer guide, it's a lot more helpful with these years of me using the teacher guide for the later grades to go over and be like, oh, okay, that's where she got it wrong, and to understand that. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. So this was a chapter about fractions, and then adding and subtracting fractions. So I'll just give you an example of that right there, and let me show you the chapter review. And as I'm going through this, and I just finished our 5th grade year, in my homeschool portfolio, I do a lot of chapter reviews, pages I pull out from the book, and I put them in our portfolios to show the evaluator like what they've done for each chapter, so they're not going through pages and pages of math. Sometimes I'll take a few examples of the chapter, and then yeah, I will have this as like their chapter review for the chapter, so that the evaluator can see what they're actually doing throughout the year without having to go through like tons of pages. If you guys know what I mean. Here's some geometry, the basic geometry. They're going over what they went over last year, the types of lines. She is using, I forgot what that's called, but she is using those tools to measure angles. We finally got like a compass and stuff, so she's done that this year, and she also did that in 4th grade, but it's definitely getting way more advanced. I can see. Yeah, that's definitely more advanced, I think, than 5th grade. Congruent and similar figures. Even my son in 3rd grade this year was doing this, but it was basic. So I love the way BJU works. Like, we've done this before since 3rd grade, and they're just like, it's like a spiral review where they go over it with the kids in earlier years so that they have some of a basic foundation, and then they go more advanced into it. And it's pretty neat. I like the way that this new edition looks. It's colorful, and then I like the little test and the review at the end. This chapter is multiplying fractions and decimals. So let me give you guys a little peek at what, there we go, that looks better, right? A little peek at the first few lessons. This lesson has like 37 questions and then 48 if you do practice and application. Now I feel like that's a lot. It depends on, like multiplying for instance. This might not take that long, but if they already know it, I would just give the kids evens or odds to do. My math teacher would always do that, right? To make it a little bit easier. Alright, so let's see. Next chapter is dividing fractions. I'll show you a couple of those. Divide by fractions, mixed numbers, and reciprocals. The chapter review. And let's see the next one. And they also have lots of STEM projects at the beginning of the chapters. We don't really do them in the past few years when they've incorporated it in the new editions. We just skip over that. That's just our preference. But if your kids like it and you have time to do it, then I would say go ahead and do it because it's fun. She's done a few of them, not a lot. Dividing decimals, estimating, repeating decimals, and renaming fractions. This is what they'll be doing. Chapter review, cute little pictures, and then the review there. And then chapter 10's equations. I'm just looking at this to see if she's done this for 5th grade. And I feel like they've touched base on this, but they haven't really explained it this thoroughly, and it's a little more advanced than her 4th and 5th grade equations that they reviewed. So yeah, it's getting a little harder in middle school for her, I'm sure. This is different than elementary, so it might take a little bit more time for her to do a lesson. I know in 5th grade this year, it took a long time for her to do math compared to the previous years. So as they get older, it just takes longer to do math. So I'm trying to think of ways to be fair and pick out the ones that I want her to do, whether it's even or odds. Will I have her do all of the exercises and the practice and application? I'm not sure. I might pick a few here, a few here. I don't want her spending hours and hours on math. Sometimes we do spend a lot of time because I have to correct and then we go over it. So I want to make sure she's understanding the concept, but I don't want her sitting there for hours trying to figure it out and getting frustrated. And I just really want her to understand the concept and move on, you know? Because like I said, we do review these every year, and she'll get to a point where she's going to be in algebra and geometry and all that stuff for middle school. So here's the volume. And then volume's pretty self-explanatory. They've learned volume throughout the years. It's just a little more advanced. They're talking about census. Here's a STEM project. I think I just skipped the chapter. This is ratios and rates. Actually, I have her doing this summer because we did not finish it for 5th grade, so she's going over that. And scales, percents, finding the percent of a number, speed, distance, and time. So yeah, this is definitely a little more advanced than her 5th grade. And chapter 14 is measurement. We're at 12 minutes, guys, but I just want to show you exactly what's in the book before you go ahead and purchase it, because I know I'm a homeschool mom and I like to make sure I know exactly what's in curriculum before I go ahead and purchase it, and then I realize, oh, this is not what I want. So time zones, unit multipliers, mail system, and statistics. So that's what we're doing this summer. Lots of grids and graphs and plots. She loves this. This is super simple for her and it's fun. These are the type of chapters that I might just do a few lessons from, and I might not have her do everything because she understands it, she has fun doing it, or she goes through it a lot faster and we don't take that much time on that chapter because it's a quicker thing because she understands it. When they're hard concepts, it's another story. So probability. So yeah, that's how our math has always been. It's if it's a hard concept for the kid to grasp, it'll take longer. And for the chapters that are easier, that they're just oh, this is easy, the chapters and the time that she takes throughout the week, or he, it's just cut down in half. It's like way easier. So some days are more of a struggle than others. Some days are quicker because they understand it. Now we're going into subtracting integers and adding, just positive and negative numbers. That's pretty self-explanatory. Either they get it or they don't get it. But the charts that they use here are really helpful for them to understand. And they could see the negative and the positive. And then they have a mixed review here. And I'm doing planes right now. I think I just flipped over. Okay, so that's it. Let me see. I think I just went right over our last chapter. So 17 chapters. So they have daily reviews in the back. I don't know why they do, but maybe as a teacher in a classroom, she might have her kids do this. But for every lesson, there's a review in the back. So let's just say they're not doing such a great job and they need like a little extra review. You can use this in the back, and they added it to the back. Usually it's like a separate activity book, but they added it to the actual workbook. So it's just 300, it's not just, but it's 388 pages for the workbook. And then these are the reviews. So as you can tell, that's a big portion of it. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, all of this is daily review. Wow. Okay, so from page like 389 to 521, it's daily review. So you can feel free to take it out. I mean, I'll just probably keep it in. Now the pages are a little smoother and shinier than their other pages, and they don't have a perforated part to take it out with hole punches in it, which usually is very helpful because I like to put it in our portfolio at the end of the year. So, yeah. We'll see how I take this out. I might just give it to my evaluator to like look through like that. I don't know, because taking this all out might be a pain in the butt. But yeah, so that is the student textbook. Teacher edition. All right, so part 1 will go over chapters 1 through 9, and then the other will be 10 through 17. So this one has 9 chapters, and the other one has 7 chapters. And so that's what it looks like. The same thing as the child's, and then these are grayed out. So this is talking about biblical worldview, building academic rigor. I really don't look at these things. These are all the materials that you can get, the assessments and the assessment keys. Like I've gotten those in kits before. I don't use them. This is the teaching cycle in Math 6. Like you engage, you instruct, you apply, and you assess. And then the lesson features. So I will pause on this for you guys so you guys can take a good look at this, zoom in, screenshot, whatever you need to do. Yeah, so this is kind of like what every teacher guide lesson looks like. So I will get right into lesson 1. Is this the first one? Oh, and then they also have a lesson plan overview for the chapters. And for chapter 1, from day 1, lesson 1, yeah, all the stuff that it shows you, the topics, the resources, everything. So they have it all set out for you, and all the answers are in red. So that's what I usually use it for, all the answer keys, basically. There's lesson 1, it has the objectives. If you want to look at this before you go into the week, you can look at all your lessons for the week, and just to mentally note, like, okay, these are the things I might need to teach them. Engage, instruct, and just some of the things that you would do in a classroom. So these are discussion things that you would do, or some questions that you would ask them before you move into the lesson. This is the lesson 2. And they have notes for the teacher or the homeschool teacher, which is good. Oh, and that is the review for in the back of the student book that I showed you, which I probably will not use. More than likely. So lesson 45 looks like that. All the answers are in pink or red or whatever the color is. And let's go to lesson 86, divide in a decimal. So yeah, every teacher guide looks just like this. Here's the solutions to the chapter. So they have solutions, which basically means like if they're doing a factor tree, I think that's what it's called, they show you the work that the kids should have done. This is the teacher edition part 2. I'm going to go through it really quickly because this video has been very long. So this is chapter 10, equations, and it goes to integers. Same exact setup as the other one. I'll show you a lesson. Let me start from the first page of the lesson. So 109, surface area of prisms. They have all the answers there for you. And I think the solutions that I showed you before should be in the back. So it's very much exactly like the first one. And so this is what I'm going to probably be using. Hallelujah. Like the solutions here. Hopefully you could see them. Yeah, every chapter has all of the algebraic things like equations. So n plus 3 equals 16, n plus 3 minus 3 equals 16, minus 3, n equals 13, 13 plus 3 equals 16. I love it. They have all of the breakdowns of the questions, the answers that I want to see more detail to. They have them all here. So wow, that is really, really amazing. That is going to be very helpful because I don't remember them doing this in 5th grade. And this would have helped. Unless they have it and I just didn't know. So now I know. Here are some like pictures and charts in the back that the teachers use that I feel like I might have used one time maybe. They have variable cards, graphing equations. Like they have all of these charts for you to have the kids visualize things. If you're in a classroom, you could still use it in your homeschool. And it's just like explaining things and having bigger charts and stuff like that. Flashcards, patterns, circle graphs, like things that you could use. And then the index in the back, anything that you might have questions with, let's just say expressions, you're trying to do like simplifying expressions. How do you do that? That's on page 79, 96, and 102. Mental math strings with fractions. I guess they give you this option. So if you're looking in your lesson plan, they're going to refer you to like mental math strings. Go to this page to do the mental math with your kids. Or if they're doing integers with negative and positive numbers, go to this page. So they'll have a chart for the kids to look at, which will be a little bit bigger than maybe what they have in their workbook. All right, so thank you for looking inside of it with me and finding those really amazing pieces of information. That's definitely something new that I have not seen in the BJU workbooks with my kids in the earlier elementary, and this is also a newer edition, so maybe that's why. So I'm so grateful for that. Now I know that they have detailed answers and how they got to that answer, which will be super helpful in the future. So if you got through this whole entire video, wow, you guys are amazing. It's almost 25 minutes. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my thoughts and going through like most of the pages in the work textbook and getting an example of what the teacher guide looks like. There's other things that you can get, like assessments and test stuff that I simply usually don't use. I really just focus on this, and I use the teacher guide for the answer key, and that's how I simplify things. And hopefully going through it with you and showing you and telling you how I do it with my kids will help you guys out. If you have any questions, leave the comments down below. If this video has helped you out, give me a thumbs up. If you're looking for these to purchase, I will link the Amazon links down below, which helps my channel. So thank you guys so much for watching and coming back, and I hope you guys have an amazing homeschool year. I'll see you guys in my next video. If you're looking for more flip-through videos, I have a whole playlist of flip-through videos for lots of homeschool. If you're looking specifically for math, I have, like I said at the beginning of the video, kindergarten all the way to 6th grade, so check those out. I will link them down below for you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later.